It wasn't long after visiting Goldie's when I found a book in the back shelf. Annie Oak Tree Family Album, I read as I brushed away the dust. Who is she? I don't remember any oaks being in our family tree. Went to find Goldie and we started looking through it together. Auntie Goldie, who is Annie Oak Tree?
Sit down. And it was the first sharpshooter and triple lasso attemptee and success story in our family. The first rodeo mare in our family. The first star. We still have our ribbons too.
Really? Those are cool, Auntie. Tell me more about her. Please tell me more about her.
Sure thing, sugar. It all started when your great auntie was approached by that stallion there, Buffalo Bill Cody. That's what her show mare name was. That's where her show mare rifle life began. And that same day, Bill introduced her to this other stallion over here. His name was Flank Flanker. He was a sharpshooter himself, one of the best in Equestria. She fell head over heels for him, and he for her, although he didn't admit it.
Hi. Hi, my name is Annie. Annie Oaktree. I'm from farmland.
Pleased to meet you, Miss Oaktree. So, are we going to be working together?
Seems like it. I do have a lot of tricks up my sleeve for a little country filly. I'm not the city mares you're used to, I'm sure.
Sure, but that's not all bad. Not bad at all.
Are you sure?
Indubitably.
What's that? What's indubitably? What's that? What's that mean?
Don't worry about it. It just means it's not going to be bad. Us working together, that is.
Oh, I don't do big words. Small words do best around the farm.
They fell for each other hard, like hard, hard. Maybe her more so for him, but still. Over the following shows, she did her normal fare, but by the sixth show, she perfected two lassos at once, and by her 10th, she'd accomplished a trick involving three lassos that she'd become famous for. Hit all the papers.
Annie Oaktree, a great. The first to accomplish a stunt with 3 lassos. Cool, I want to learn that someday. I can already do 2.
Well, you're determined, stubborn. You'll find it out someday, I'm sure. She continued to improve on it, adding more to it as she continued to perform it. She was hitting the news and getting interviews, and asked to perform it at rodeos and whatnots for weeks on end after that.
Howdy there, and welcome to Pony News Network. My name is Shal Bronco, and I'm here with Miss Oaktree, the young mare who just recently pulled off a triple lasso. Now, Miss Oaktree, no pony's ever done this before. Can you care to tell us, please, for the papers, of just how you did this?
Months upon months of practice. The rest is my secret and I'm not sharing. I don't want no copycats after all.
But Miss Oaktree, your fans want to know. We would all like to know just how you did this triple lasso. Please tell us for the papers, anything.
Well, that's a shame because I ain't sharing. Good day, sir.
Why are them filth trying to get you to spell about your special trick? What's in it for them?
No, easy there, Flank. I'm sure she's got it covered. Seems like she's handled them well enough for a spotlight newbie.
Sure, Bill. I guess you're right.
I'm not gonna spill, guys. Don't worry. My trick, my secret, right?
Right. But just be careful what you say, Annie. Promise? Promise.
Promise. I promise. I promise, all right.
Alright.
So her trick almost got sold out? How did she keep that from happening when talking to the media?
She taught herself and was taught more on it following that interview by Flank and Bill. Annie and Flank continued to fall for each other and went on shows and on the news together and eventually got engaged and shared it with the media and the world. She was the mare he was gonna marry. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And did Annie want that?
More than anything else in the world. She needed to help provide for her 9 younger siblings, 6 sisters and 3 brothers. She was their only caregiver. They were her world, her entire world. Only 1 year later, the two got married and moved into a mansion, and her siblings moved in with them. One of those sisters was your granny. Her sisters and brothers outside Annie were Tangerine, Applesauce, Apple Blossom, Apple Pie, and Apple Pastry. Or her sisters, and her brothers were Tangelo, Apple Spiral, and Washington Apple Tree.
That's pretty big. How did Annie and Flank feed themselves, care for themselves, and also do everything they could for her siblings?
The two of them brought in enough money off doing shows, rodeos, and media appearances just to get by and provide for all of them. Anything. Annie did anything to make sure that was an assured thing. The most sure thing she could found herself on.
Cool, what happened after that?
Well, Senior Granny met her husband and decided to move and found Ponyville with him, and the other siblings followed her and left in his care. Not long after that, Granny Folger's father brought Mac. The pears opened up across from them, and Prickly Pear and Pear Crumble had pear butter. And that's how your parents' story began. And it was all thanks to Annie in a weird sort of way. She'd visit as often as she could and come around every reunion. She and Flank even had a son together, Golden Apple Flanker, and a daughter, Apple Jam. Everything was perfect. Anna passed away a few years later due to bad health and other complications. Flank was heartbroken and continued to raise their son on his own before eventually remarrying to another straw mare, a sharpshooter named Rita Froghoof. They had a daughter together, and that's where Anna's story ends, but even to this day her fame continues. She's still in magazines, newspapers, books of the best rodeos and western show tricks in all of history. She's still a household and farmheld name, and that will never ever change. And she lives on you, in all apples.
Well, I'll make her proud. I'll learn her trick and make her proud. That's the least I can do to continue to keep her memory alive.
And my dear, that is the best possible thing to do. She'd be so proud of you. I'm sure she's looking down on us right now and is saying, my great niece, I'm so proud of her and how she's keeping me and my memory alive and well. There's no doubt in my mind, and there shouldn't be in yours neither. You're her blood, you're her legacy, and that will never ever change. Never.
And since then, I've perfected her trick and have even come to admit to myself that Annie Oak Tree does indeed live on in me, and that I am meant to fulfill the great legacy she left behind all those years ago. And that's all that really matters in the end. And I'll make it count no matter what. No matter what. No matter what'll keep her memory alive.